Hi guys, it's Abby with the Bead Place, and today I have Carolyn and Micah here. We're going to show you how to make felted eggs like this. So Carolyn's our wet felting expert and Micah is our needle felting expert. And you know, I do the jewelry, so Carolyn's going to go first, then Micah, then me. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm here to show you how to wet felt your egg base. What we're first going to do is we're going to pull a little bit off to the side for the needle felting, and we're going to just kind of curl it around so it makes a nice ball. And we're going to throw some generic soap on it.
And dish soap, is that what works best?
It is dish soap. You can use hand soap if you'd like. And then I'm going to dip this. This is hot water from our teapot. It's really hot water. And I'm just going to work the soap in. And I'm just going to roll it like you're going to roll a ball of dough. Just gently, like you barely want to put any pressure on it at all until you can feel it start forming a skin on it.
And why is that?
Because the felt forms from the outside to the inside, and so you don't want to mash the fibers into a shape that you don't want to begin with. So just continue to work it in a ball. I loaded my hands up with soap because we learned during our workshop that if you put lotion on your hands, the dye that's still in the wool, it washes off a lot easier. You can also use gloves, but I like the feel because I'm very tactile.
Yeah, I also think it's easier to kind of control it when you're not wearing gloves as well, but if you're concerned about the colors of your fingertips.
Yes. So I'm just working, kind of trying to keep it going in a ball, because we're just going to form a rough ball shape.
Okay.
Some of the yarns or the wools work a little different than others as far as making the base.
So you kept some off to the side to fix mistakes, and is that what?
Well, because if you see here,
oh, the little creases.
Because it's making creases.
Okay.
They may go, well, this is not going to go away. Some of them may go away as we manipulate it. I never know.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess let's just let you keep doing that for a little while, and we'll come back and show you the finished result.
Hi everybody, this is the felted base I just completed. What I did was I went to the sink and I rinsed out the soap under running water, gently squeezing, not squeezing too hard. If you'll notice, it's not perfect. It has some creases, but don't worry because Mick is going to show you how to fix any kind of creases and misshapen areas that you have with the felt that you put aside. And we're here with Micah, and she's going to show us how to needle felt. She started out with a wet felted base, and then she has a little of the remaining wool that's not been felted yet, and she's going to use that to, well, I'll let Mick explain it, but first I'm going to show you what comes in the kit. You're going to get a ball of base color, and then you're going to get a color kit and a needle for felting. So this is Micah.
So if after you've wet felted and you may have imperfections like this that you're wanting to cover up, the easiest thing to do is just take some of your loose wool and just kind of wind it around the areas that you have a problem. And once you've done that, make sure that when you're working with your needle, you have it on a mat and you're going straight up and down. Preferably don't hold this in your hand, because if you stab yourself with these, they hurt. So you just strike it up and down, and you're going to hear the needle basically punching through everything. And the purpose of that is to basically make these fibers all interlock with each other. And when they do that, they get hard and they stay in place and they won't move around. So you just want to do this to get the loose wool attached to your wet one that you've already done. And you just keep poking it all over. And we've got some more spots that we kind of want to cover up. And you'll do this with your base coat just so that you have a smooth surface to work with when you start adding your details.
I think we'll take a break now and let Mika finish felting the base coat on. Hi everybody, we're back with Mika, and I think we're going to shape an egg now.
So to get the shape of your egg, since right now it kind of is an oblong circle, you want to pick which end is going to be the top and which will be the end, or the bottom. So if we decide to have this as a bottom, you can see this kind of has a cone shape to it, and we want to bring that down. And the way to do that is you're going to work just on a flat surface across the top of this, kind of mowing your felt down or your wool down. So you want to work your needle just in this little area to push down all of these little fibers and tell them to stay down. And if you can see now, it's kind of created a flat surface for this. So now we need to get our top of our egg, and to do that you're going to kind of work in just a small little row all the way around the top to create like a cone shape. And as you do that, your fibers will start moving in towards each other, creating a cone. The other thing, when you're working with a ball that is not super stiff, or an egg that's not super stiff like this, you can push it with your fingers. If this was really hard because we over felted it or over wet felted, you won't be able to squeeze it or push around on this ball or this egg to get its shape. So if you can see, we kind of are just telling the fibers, let's stay in this egg shape because that's what I want you to do. So now we have something that resembles a little bit more of what an egg is. Now you want to decide what type of design you want. And you may think this is not a whole lot of extra fibers to do it, but really you only need a little bit to make a design. So if we want to put a circle or a dot like they have on the picture, you just pull out a little bit of whatever color and kind of in your fingers push the fibers together and make it into almost a ball. Lay it down onto your surface and very carefully, right towards the center, just start poking it in. Now you don't want to poke too hard because as you can see, it's starting to go down inside this. If you keep doing that too much, your whole color is going to disappear and it just goes down into the middle of the egg. So we get it attached, and then to get us a nice circle shape, you kind of have to take your needle and work these fibers. So, you know, just slowly grab the little pieces and work in a circle. If they're in the wrong place, you drag it where you want it to go. And I have some fibers that are still sitting up here. They're sitting a little high from the egg, so I want to bring them down and put them into place. And again, don't be poking too hard. You want just enough to have the egg grab a hold of your decoration. And there you have a dot.
Cute.
So some will add like a line or a swirl, and this is a lot of roving to put on the egg, and it's going to be pretty big compared to your egg, so you may want to actually take half of it. So take out half of what you don't want. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to place that onto my egg. So what you'll do with a straight line like this, I don't want my colors to mix, so I'm going to just hold them in place and slowly tack them down with my needle Just pushing into the fibers so that they grab a hold onto the egg. And again, if you need something to move, just take your needle and drag those fibers where you want them to put them in place. Okay, so that'll see they're attached, and you can just continue and do that all the way around.
If you let it hang loose, it looks like a mustache.
Yep. You can make a little one-eyed mustache guy. And you got to be careful though, if you pull too hard, this will come back out. You can see I'm pulling it off, and let's say I didn't want that color there, or I didn't want it to look that way, so I'm just going to pull it all off. And I have. If, let's say, you're just doing a solid color and you're okay with the way that color looks, just twist the yarn so that, or the roving, so that it's a little bit more of a substantial string, and then you can put that on there. That will get you your straight lines. If, let's say, you want to add a wave instead of a straight line, similar to the straight line, except now when I tack it, I only do a little section at a time. So I've done this little piece here. Now I want to make a triangle type line that goes up and down. It's tacked all the way up here, and then I pulled it myself, and I tack it with the needle again so that they lock into the fibers down as far as I need. And then again, fibers kind of twisted so that it's more together, and I'll bring it up. So there you can see I'm starting to make a wave type line on here. Okay. One of the things that some people saw and they kind of liked is they wanted to make like a tulip or some type of a triangle shape or something like that. And the easiest way to do that is have yourself a center ball and work it down just like you were going to do a dot on the front, except now I want to add the details up here. Okay, so I've tacked down this bottom half. This is where I've worked my needle. Now these fibers here are loose, and you can see I can move them around, and this is where I'm going to tell it where I want it to go. So I'm going to grab a couple fibers and I want to bring it up to a point and just work it in that single point. And then I want to bring this down because I want a much more accentuated angle. Bring it down and just work that little spot. And then again, I want to bring it up.
Wow.
And if you see, I just use my needle to grab the fibers. And then I have it and I want to bring it back down. And then, like in this case, I didn't have enough loose, so grab a little bit more of your yarn or your fibers. I just kind of scrunch them up, lay them where you need them, tack it down in the big space there where you have, so that you're not screwing up your fine detailed work. And then I'm going to grab a couple of these fibers and bring them up. And if it's not looking exactly like I want, it'll get there. You just kind of got to work it a little bit. And then I still have some loose ones, so I'm going to work those in. You can always trim off some of your fibers if you need to. But when you take your fibers and you grab it and you pull it to where you want, you can get these much more finer details. And then just make sure that you've worked it all the way around so no loose pieces. And that's the top of my tulip. So like a sample of a tulip looking like that.
Wow. Very neat.
Okay, so that should give you a good basic start of straight lines, dots or circles, the wavy line on here, also how to pull it off if you need to. And don't be afraid to work with the needle and the felt. You'll notice if you're pushing too much or if you've been hitting that spot too much, because it'll start going down too far where your color will disappear. And if you get too pushing, you're going to start seeing a divot. Like this is starting to see a divot kind of where it pushes in a little bit. Best way to kind of alleviate that is just push on your egg and just work it a little bit. And then it'll smooth out and look much more nice.
And here are some of the examples of eggs that Mika has already made. We have the tulip. I think there's something on the other side.
A little bunny face.
Mm-hmm. And we have some stripes and some swirls.
Yep.
So, thank you, Mika.
Thanks.
Hey guys, so I'm going to take this egg that Mika and Carolyn just finished, and I'm going to show you how to turn it into a necklace. So we have a really long head pin here, and what we're going to do is somehow get this head pin up through the egg. So we're going to have to figure out how to do that so it's easy. Well, it'd be easier if we made the end sharp, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a cutter, and we're going to cut this at an angle. So you see how I have my cutter here, like, you know, at an angle? We're going to create a really sharp point, like that. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that? Oh well. So we have this, and we are going to kind of center it in the bottom of the egg and just kind of push it. Now, what I like to do is use my pliers to help me push it up through and kind of grab it near the top of the pin rather than the bottom. By grabbing it at the top, you're going to prevent the pin from bending as much. So just kind of use your pliers to work the head pin up through the egg. Now see what happened? My pin came out a little crooked. I'm going to go back through and kind of twist my egg and push it up elsewhere. And we're going to try a few times to get it centered. We did it! So you want to make sure that your egg is felted tight enough that the bottom, the pin, is not going to come up through it. If your pin wants to come all the way through, make sure to kind of stab at the bottom with your felting needle a little bit more. So we are going to put a bead cap on just to make it cutie pie and decorative. And then we're going to put a bead on. Isn't that adorable? So then we're going to do a closed wrap loop. So a lot of you are already familiar with this from our past videos. We're going to take our chain nose pliers and we are going to hold the head pin directly on top of the bead. We're going to do a right angle bend. We're going to take the round nose pliers and we are going to grab just like this. So the noses of the pliers are stacked on top of one another rather than side by side. Did it look like I was doing karate just then? I do have a Ninja Turtle shirt on, so I guess that is kind of fitting, isn't it? So we are going to bend the wire up around the top and down. So I've bent it around the top and down like that. Then we are going to put that loop back on the bottom nose of the round nose pliers. We're going to bring the tail end around, but be careful, remember, because we cut it so that it's really sharp, so I don't want you to stab yourself. So then we're going to just twist it around a few times, and you can use the chain nose pliers to help you kind of pull it around, especially since it's sharp. You don't want to hurt yourself. So just wrap it around and tuck it down. You can trim the tail end if you need to, but otherwise we have a little loop. Now since we have a little loop, it's not going to fit on a lot of chains, so we're going to add a jump ring. So I have an open jump ring here. The break of my jump ring is at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to hold one of my chain nose pliers up and down, and I'm going to take my other chain nose pliers in side by side, and I'm going to open the jump ring like this. So we're opening it like this, and never, never, never like this, because you're never going to get it closed back into its original position if you open it that way. So we are going to slide that cute little eggy pie on the jump ring. And then we're going to slide our cute little ball chain on and close it in that same way. and you have an adorable felted egg necklace. So thanks for watching. All the links will be in the description. We put out new videos every month, so make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Check out our website if you want to see cool new products and kits that we offer. It's beadplace.net. Like I said, like us on Facebook. We post a lot of stuff there. Subscribe and have a good one.